Hey everyone, so release techniques for our hip now. So with our hip, super important that we get after the muscles on the front of the hip. So we're talking the hip flexor, the adductors in our groin as well. We are going to have a look at the glutes too. A lot of people generally only address the glutes, which I think is a bit of a mistake. So pay close attention and you should get plenty out of this. First one that we're going to do is our hip flexor roll. So we're going to need your roller. We're going to be laying front ways onto it. So if you watch Kieran here, he's going to lay on the end of the roller with the leg that we're working out straight and hip flexor here resting on the roller. The other foot you just sort of bend, get it up out of the way. And what we're going to do is just roll up and down. You get lots of work with that hip flexor. We're just working on this sort of top part here, so where your quad and your hip flexor joins into the top of your hip bone there and just down that first little bit. It's not a huge movement, just sort of rolling up and down. We lift this leg up in the air, give ourselves a bit more pressure, and that's it with that one. Okay guys, so second one, now we're looking at our adductors. Again, using our roller, we are going to be laying in a very similar position to where we were for our hip flexors, this time just with the roller in a bit of a different position. So we'll get Kieran to move the roller sideways. We're going to be laying down this time. The bent leg is the one that we're working and the straight leg here is just relaxing. From there, we're going to rest the roller on this sort of bottom half of our adductor here where it joins in at the knee, and we're going to roll back and forth, sort of just side to side across there, working close to the knee where we sometimes get a little bit wound up here in through the adductor. So with this one, what we see a lot of people doing sometimes is rolling along the whole length of their adductor in one movement, which we don't want to do. We want to focus on either the bottom half or the top half. So at the moment, Kieran's doing the bottom half. We can also do the top half, so if you just roll the roller, in closer towards the hip, and then now, same thing, but just working on that top half, just so that we're not doing too big of a movement in one go. It generally tends to lose its effect if we sort of go for too much in one go. Alrighty, third and final one for our hip, we are going to be getting after the top part of our glute. So for this one, we are going to use our little ball, lacrosse ball, mobility ball, whatever you've got. And we are going to be basically sitting the top part of our glute on that one, and we're going to get a little bit of movement through there and see if we can release it off. So we get Kieran to, good, sit that one on the top part of his glutes. Where he's got that ball is this top part of the glute here. So not in the bottom chunky part here, in that top part where it sort of joins in at your hip, where it can get a bit wound up sometimes. Once we've got a bit of pressure on there and a nice little gnarly spot, we're going to lift up that leg, extend it out, and bring it back in. It's going to move through this range of motion, keeping pressure on that ball on this moving leg. If you do need a little bit more pressure, then you can always sort of try and lift your hips up in the air slightly. It does get quite intense when we do that, so just be careful with it. But if you do need a little bit more pressure, you always can. That's pretty much it. That would be our top 3 for the hip, so give them a go.